We have scaled this e-commerce brand to $23,000 a day with a 13x return on the ad spend on Facebook ad. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact process and everything we did to reach this point. It wasn't easy. It wasn't like an overnight success, even though it looks like an overnight success, but it took us a lot of time, a lot of tests, and in this video I want to show you exactly like everything that we did, everything that we tested, and ideally it's gonna help you to do the same. Let's move forward. So first thing to say, how was this possible? This is a consequence of 6 months of good work. These results are built over time, not overnight. So it's not gonna happen that you launch the ad and then boom, 14x return on the ad spend over like, how much was the spending? 1.7k spent. Okay, this is not possible. So overnight, of course, unless you have a brand that already has like 1 million followers, you launch an ad, then of course you it's gonna be all inflated revenue because it's coming from the organic and Meta's getting the attribution. So how did we do this? Just to specify a couple of things, this brand has completely zero organic, like no organic at all, no IG. They had an account with like 1k followers, but no posting at all, just some very bad images, product images, like no videos, like nothing, completely nothing. Okay. And so it was hard. Of course it was hard, because if there is no organic, it's not easy. Okay. Cool. So I want to show you now more details of this growth. Okay, let's start with the with this graph here. Okay, this graph. So as you can see, we started in October 2024 until April 2025, and we went from 7k spent. This is when we jump in, 7k spent, 84k revenue they were doing with a 4.39 return on the ad spend October. In April, we did 230k almost, 39k spent, and 4.81 return on the ad spend. This was the hard part. So the hard work, they gave us the actual chance and possibility to scale. And the actual scaling, this part here, was the easiest. This was the hardest part. As you can see here, we have increased the revenue. We have doubled the revenue we have doubled the spend from 7k to 14k around, and the revenue didn't increase much. 84, 89 didn't increase much, but the return on spend decreased. The reason why this happened is also because of the Black Friday was November, and so the cost increased a lot and everything, and they were not ready because we jumped in too late. So we basically found ourselves in November without any winning content, without any engagement, and so the CPM were so high. Yeah, anyways, we recovered pretty well in December, and we did we spent 24k, we did 160,000. So in 3 months we went from basically double the revenue, from 80k to 160k. Now this was the hard part. Build your customer base, focus on ads, on acquiring new customers, and also you need to test and understand what is working. Once you have everything that is working, you arrive here, increase the budget. That's it. Easy. Literally. If you have all the requirements to do this step is actually easy. You just need to increase the budget. Of course, you need to be careful how you do it, but it's not gonna be difficult. This is the most difficult part. This is a screenshot of the Meta spent. This is October, 7k spent. This is November, 13k spent, 41k revenue. By the way, this is the total revenue that you saw here in the graph. It's not Meta revenue, it's total revenue. December, 24k spent, 83k revenue. January, 18k spent, 51k revenue. February, 32k spent, 99k revenue. March, 27k spent, 62k revenue. And April, finally, 39k spent, 190k revenue, 189k revenue. Okay, so how we were able to do this with a 4.81 return on ad spend is actually good, right? So how we did it, 3 main things. We have tested 3 offers. So we tested offers, and what we mean by testing offer is testing the actual the way that you sell your product and the products. So we identified winning offer and winning products. Then we have tested 80 creatives, new creatives every month per 5 months. So in total, those are 400 different creatives. I'm gonna go more in details later, no worries. And then we've tested the best setup to acquire new customers. And while we were testing, of course, we were also acquiring new customers. And this allow us to do 13x return on the ad spend in one day. Okay, now this is only one day. At the end of the month, we were like 4.8 revenue. Sorry, 4.8 return on the ad spend with 40k spent with 0 organic and 0 UGCs. I think is good. So what we did, creatives. So creatives, we have tested different creative types, videos and images, and we saw images were the best performing one and the cheapest one to produce for the clients, because we were managing it. We do like a limited production, whatever, and so the cost was not increasing because we get paid by performance and everything. So it was much easier to scale like this. We have tested many angles. Let's say we're testing like the lose weight, like weight loss. We are within the weight loss niche. Then we want to test lose weight, burn fat, and like different type of angles based on the products, of course. We tested different creative styles. So UGC photos with just visual photos, and then at the end what we noticed is that the UGC photos, of course, with a proper like setup, like with a proper post-production in terms of like copy, the way they would look like, was performing very well. And so we found the best ratio between visual and UGC photos. So like what kind of UGC photos were working, what kind of visuals were working, matched with the angle, because some angle were working much better for like using UGC photos, and other angles for other target audience, because target audience was like another thing that we tested, was working better with visuals, like with static visual, like, you know, those Canva static images. And so at the end of the day, what we did basically this one. So what we did, we were able to find winning angles and creatives. Now this is very important, this part here. You can't scale with few winners, and you need to have enough winners to scale with consistency. Otherwise, when you increase the budget, return on spend decrease, and it's not gonna change anything. And this is exactly what happened in here. So we tried to scale, didn't work out, boom. Okay, return on spend decreased. Here, okay. So now, what was the last thing? Sorry, this is not the last one. Second thing, offer. Now, we tested different products. We tested a welcome kit. We tested a quantity discount. We tested a bundle with purpose. Like, for instance, say you are like within the weight loss, and then you sell a weight loss program with 5 different products that fulfill the weight loss program, let's say, okay? So this is how you match different products within one more complete offer, which is more results oriented. And so we were able to find the winning products and the winning offers. Okay, and then finally we tested the best ad structure. So we tested Advantage Shopping Plus versus CBO versus ABO, and we tested cost cap versus bid caps, and we also tested different type of caps for bid caps and cost caps. And we had a dedicated budget for new customers, excluding all existing customers. And this allow us to understand what is like the best setup in terms of like acquiring new customers profitably, and being able to have the proper spend between allocation spend between new customers and existing customers, because you don't want to spend like more than 10% of the budget to existing customers. Ideally, you want to spend everything into new customers and bring a very good return on the ad spend. And yeah, so we were able to find the best structure and the winning cost cap and bid caps. Then what happened is basically this one. So we found the best angle and the best creatives. We were able to find the winning products and the structure, as I mentioned before. What did we do? We had 20 winning ads at this point here. Okay, late March, when we start increasing the spending. So we had 20 winning ads, 2 winning offers, and 4 winning products that we're pushing simultaneously. And the best setup that we found for this account is that it was 1 Advantage Shopping Plus per product per offer. And thanks to this, now we were able to scale with confidence, because we have a lot of tick. It's not just like, oh, winning content, cool. Okay, you have the winning content, but you don't know how to scale. Like, what is the best campaign setup? Or what is the best offer? Or what are the best products? And how many products you can scale simultaneously, okay? And we were able to scale with confidence. How? There's actually, like, the actual scaling phase is actually quite simple. You need to launch scaling campaign with bid cap and cost cap, with winnings, with winner, bid caps and cost cap that you're testing in the cap. And it needs to be super high budget, like 8K a day. if it's a bid cap. If it's a cost cap, it's more risky. Keep that in mind, because with cost cap, when you use cost cap, you need to use it like when you have clear winners only, like a lot of purchase and high return on the ad spend and a lot of engagement, and you also need to leverage mainly during the promotion period. And with bid cap, the problem, because the cost cap, I don't know if you know the difference, but like cost caps, it brings you the target cap that you put within a longer period of time, and you're like 1 week or like 1 month, while the bid cap is there is no predictive analysis on this, so Meta is not predicting that can still spend, and so cost cap some days is gonna end up with like a very bad cap. Like maybe let's say you put like a cost target of 50 per purchase, and then you get like 150 per purchase for like 3-4 days, and then you get 10 cost per purchase for the next days, and then you meet your target within 1 week period. But then sometimes he's gonna spend a lot of money and not always gonna meet your cap. The bid cap is not gonna spend unless it can generate the sale with the cap that you put. So this is more safe, and that's why in this case you can put the budget much higher compared to a cost cap. Cost cap, you can put it like 1k a day. This one you can put like a 5k a day, but it's not gonna spend. If there is no potential return on the ad spend with the cap that you put, it's not gonna spend. And that's the good thing, because when like some days are bad, we cannot do anything about it, and then this campaign is not gonna spend. We're not spending money. We're not wasting money. And when there are good days, this campaign is gonna spend all the budget, and then we're gonna see those like 20k a day, basically. Like this was the actual concept above, like the actual day, with a 13x on the ad spend. And then you also need to launch a scaling campaign with winners and high budget. This budget needs to be more conservative compared to the cost cap or bid cap, of course. And what you wanna do, you can start with like 1k a day, 2k a day, 3k a day. It depends on how much budget you have and the kind of confidence that you have with and how many creatives you have as well, and what type of creatives you have as well. Because if you have only statics, then you need to have a lot, like many more compared to videos. Ideally you want to have 20 plus, and then at this point you can spend even like 1-2k a day. And then what you want to do, you want to increase the budget 20-30% every 2-3 days if the return on ad spend is above the target. And yeah, so this is basically like the entire like concept, like structure itself. These numbers that I put here, like 5-8k a day, like the budget, like this budget here depends on you. This is like just like an example to give you an understanding of how much you're spending. So let's say you're spending like 1k total a day, then you can have another campaign with cap 5k a day, but this campaign is not going to spend the 5k. Some days it's not going to even spend anything. Some days it's going to spend like 1k, 2k, okay? And this campaign here is what brings the consistency over time. This was pump the ROAS when needed, and this is what brings consistency. So this is actually very important, because this campaign is going to keep spending, and what you want to have, like, you want to have the return on spend to be of course above your target, and you want to see consistency over time. Yeah, this is basically it, guys. I'm gonna probably make another video where I will explain the exact like process that we followed, and like how we were able to grow this brand from 80k a month to 230k a month by keeping the same return on the ad spend overall, because like they were 4.39 in October, and we were like 4 like in April, it's not ended yet, but 4.81 with like a 40k spend. So we were basically able to, here's like 7k spend, here is 40k spend. You can do the math yourself, but then like we were able to not just keeping the ROAS the same, but we were able to increase it to 4.81, and they were like 4.39. I just want you to know that those are the main pillars that we did, like the main things that we did. In another video I'm going to show you also the actual creative that worked, all those things. But yeah, like this is the actual map, the roadmap, okay, that we followed, and all the requirements that we needed to have at that point to actually jump into a scaling phase. Because as you can see, when you try to scale, when you try to scale, as you can see here, but this is 18k spent in January, and then February 30k, 30x ROAS, and then March drops, because like it's like there are no enough winning content, and so this is what happened. And that's why we needed more winning content, so we started producing more, and then we were able to do this. Okay. Yeah, this is basically it, guys. Let me know in the comments if you have any question. Remember to subscribe to the channel, actually, and I'll see you in the next.